Hey guys, it was reported that Abraham Lincoln said that a person is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. Whoa! That happiness and joy are a choice. And that if we make up our minds to be joyful and happy and grateful, that's what we'll be. But if we inadvertently or kind of by default make up our minds to be frustrated or grumpy or negative or critical or even outright miserable, then that's what we'll be. And it's interesting that we don't. My son came up to me and said this the other day. It was fantastic. He read the book Mindset, which I highly recommend. Then he read the book As a Man Thinketh, which I highly recommend. I love that book. And then he read the next one called Out from the Heart. And he was reading these and he just had this aha, and he's like, Dad, why would I choose anything else but happiness if happiness is a choice? And he says, I realized it wasn't that I was choosing to be miserable. It was just that I wasn't choosing to be happy. It just was kind of existing. And a lot of us do that. We wake up, we kind of go through our days, and we don't intentionally choose a good positive emotion that we want to feel. Now, you guys already know that because you watched the trainings and you know how we do the 28-day challenge, that we choose a positive emotion that we want to feel every single day. So you get up in the morning, you choose that emotion, and you focus on it throughout the day, and you come back to it. If you get knocked off course, if you get rattled, that's okay. Just take a minute, take a breather, do a quick meditation or a prayer, or just step aside, just give yourself some time and space to recover, get back on it, right? But I want to invite you to be joyfully married. And it is a choice. And you and I, our marriages will be about as joyful as we make up our minds to be, right? Wow. It's so true and so powerful. And so much of it literally is just a choice. It's just a decision. It's just a commitment, a determination, in spite of the annoyances and the disturbances and the inconveniences and even some of the patterns and frustrations. And some of you, because I know you and I've worked with some of you and I've done marriage coaching for a while, I know there's some pretty ugly things going on. And that's hard. It's really hard. And there's a lot of pain. And there's a lot of past baggage. I get it. My parents got divorced when I was young. Stepdads came and went. I saw lots of divorces. I experienced it as a child. And when as I've lived around the world, I've seen it a lot. I know there's a lot of pain there. I'm not asking you to ignore that. I'm not asking you to brush it aside as though it's not there. But in spite of all that, can you not still choose to see the positive? Not to ignore the negative, but to see the positive, to focus on it. Because if we focus on the negative, what's the outcome? It's negativity. And focusing on the negative almost never changes the negative thing. But focusing on the positive often does. And we ought to put strategies and practices and principles and boundaries in place to remove the negative and not tolerate it. I am not in any way, shape, or form asking you to tolerate any kind of abuse or mistreatment. I am not asking you to be a rug that somebody else wipes their feet on. I am not asking you to acquiesce or lower your standards. I am not doing any of that. This is super important. You've got to have boundaries, and we've got to have a healthy place in our marriage. What I am asking you to focus on, though, is the positive, and to bring the joy and to be joyfully married. Can you do that? Of course you can. And as we choose it, then it starts to bring light and buoyancy and excitement back to the marriage. So what can you do today? And each of you is going to have a different answer for this. What can you do today and this week and as part of the 28-day challenge to be joyfully married? Maybe that's one of the things you choose. Maybe that's the emotion you choose. Maybe that's what you write down and each day to be joyfully married, joyfully married. And you check it off and you think about it. Maybe it's one of your alarms. I'm joyfully married. And bring back some of the joy. And instead of just, oh, you do that, I'll do this. I'm exhausted. Even when we're tired, especially when we're tired, do it joyfully. And when there's frustrations and irritations, catch yourself, solve them joyfully. When there's work to be done, do the work joyfully. When there's things to resolve, do it joyfully. Let's have joyful marriages. Why not? If it's possible, and it really comes down to whether I make up my mind to be joyfully married or not, why would I be blah married when I can be joyfully married? So let's choose joy. Let's act in joy. Let's live in joy. Let's radiate joy. Let's bring the joy to our marriage. Let's make it happen. Reach upward.